think, yeah, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Just want to make sure I have everything in order. Okay, I'm gonna give you all couple of minutes to join in, and it is day one. Hey, Tony. Okay, I just want to make sure it's cool. Let me see what it looks like over here. Hey, Karen. I hope the fan is not too loud. Let me just make sure. Hi, Lucretia. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hey, Felicia. Are y'all ready? I'm gonna tell you, our um, our last crochet along, hey Blue Jay, was very, very challenging. Um, well, I'll say it wasn't that it was challenging. It was that it was, what's the word? There were some tedious components depending on what you chose for here. Hey, Nora. Y'all ready? Okay, let me just set this down somewhere where I can also see. I can see what I'm looking like. Make sure. All right, how I'm looking, how I'm looking. I'm all right? Okay, let me sit back some. I swear, I do love the fact that I can, with the crochet togethers, I can kind of sit the way I like to sit when I'm actually really working. So welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to My Kind of Thing, the YouTube channel. And welcome, welcome, welcome to the My Kind of Thing University component of this YouTube channel. Hey, just wanted to ask a question. I still love my... Hold on, y'all know. Yeah, sorry. I need to figure out how to... There we go. Better. It's gonna take me a little getting used to, but I'm gonna get the hang of it. Thank you, Karen. Okay, so can you all hear me okay? I just want to make sure that the fan is not too loud, and I know I have a tendency to speak really low, so I'm gonna try my best to speak up a little bit more without straining myself. But welcome to the My Kind of Thing University component of My Kind of Thing, where the patterns and the workshops and the crochet alongs and the crochet togethers are conducted. Because of Facebook's new expiration date on live videos, they have this whole new thing going on. We will no longer be doing lives over in the closed Facebook groups like we've been doing since 2017 or 15. I think it's 2017, since 2017. And so what is going to happen moving forward is we are going to conduct these things here. But the thing is, in order to actually actively participate, you will have to purchase the pattern. So that's the thing. You can see and you can look with us, but if you don't have the pattern, then you may not necessarily be able to follow along. Well, you're not going to be able to follow along. Thank you so much, the Sweater Factory. So with that being said, I'm going to do my introduction now. So if you're watching on the replay, it's really important. My name is Aniqua, and I am the artist, the designer, the 10 fingers and 2 hands behind My Kind of Thing, a handmade company that specializes in one-of-a-kind handmade dolls, particularly dolls of color, and even more specifically, black and brown dolls. Today's part 1 is for the Summer Night Crochet doll design. And the original design has been sold, so I don't have the whole thing to show you. But if you're following My Kind of Thing on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or Twitter, you'll definitely be able to see the design there. Summer is a really, really challenging design in that there's a lot of color changing. And if you are with it, then you also know that I have a yarn company called My Kind of String. And this design is exclusively designed with My Kind of String yarn. And so today's part one will be covering this component of the doll design. So it's the head and body, which is one, the ears, and I believe the wig cap is all part of part one. It's a lot, and we're going to do as much as we can in the time span of about maybe 2 hours, depending on how we kick it here, right? And so that's what we're going to be working on today. So if you have purchased access to the pattern, then you have the pattern in front of you, and you know that the head and body are all made in one piece, and you have the instructions, and we are going to be crocheting these things together. And My Kind of String yarn is excellent for doll making. Thank you, Tony Hurd. It was made specifically for doll making and amigurumi. And so I'm going to show you the components. Let me pull up the pattern, because there's also the fact that I don't have my printer. You know what? One second. If I freeze, don't worry about it. I'm just doing something really quickly. There we go. Okay, are y'all still with me? Sorry, I just had to send the pattern over to my laptop because I normally I print it out, but I'm like, yeah, it's not necessary to print every single thing out all the time. That being said, let me just make sure. But if you have the pattern, then you know that we'll be going through the first part, which is the head, shoulders, and torso, the ears, and wig cap. Now I'm going to go through the different components to show you all the different pieces for the different parts that we'll be doing. Let me just, there we go. So the first part, which is what I just mentioned, that's what I just showed you, right? This is all part one, right? And then part two, and I don't have the creation schedule next to me, but part two is the limbs, which are these long legs with these knobbly knees, and her arms, right? And then I believe part three might be hair and clothing, maybe, I don't know. But let me just give y'all a little glimpse. She has 40 braids in that ponytail. 40 braids. So get ready for that, because you're going to want to do it in different, you're going to want to split it up. Maybe you want to do it maybe 20 braids at a time or something like that. But let me show you what it looks like, because I just finished my braids like maybe a little bit before I started this live. But I wanted her to have a really full, fluffy ponytail of braids. And so it's a lot of braids. Kind of looks like my hair, which I love. And so, yeah, it's a lot of braids. So parcel up your time, right? And then here's the crazy part, the accessories or the clothing. So for her clothing, she has this really fun rainbow top, right? Can you see it? And I haven't sewn the buttons on yet, but it basically connects via button If you have the companion pack, then your companion pack came with the buttons for the top, also the eyes, lips, and lashes for the design. Even though I didn't commit really um, to lips, really, I don't know. I know it was an open mouth, but sometimes I get really, really overstimulated with too many options. And so, but then you have this dual layered skirt. I'm gonna be honest, I actually like the skirt without the second layer. If you feel the same way I feel free to not even add the second layer if you don't want to. But the skirt looks really great with the second layer or without the second layer. Look at all of this color change. By the way, shout out to My Kind of String Yarn once again, because that's all My Kind of String Yarn. Magic Moss, Summer Shine, Firelight, Pixie Pop, Fairy Berry, Mermaid Water. Okay? And then another really fun highlight of this design is this really cool beach bag. Now, here's the thing, this beach bag actually came first. I know that some of you did the Winnie Mellon crochet along, did the Winnie Mellon crochet along. It has a beach bag that is like this. That beach bag actually came from this beach bag. I just arranged the colors differently, and the color change is beautiful with the summer shine. With the summer night crochet design. So the beach bag, and if you purchase the companion pack, then you also have the words summer to go across the beach bag and a nice vibrant sun and this really cool iridescent kind of color change vinyl, right? Then you also have her sandals, right? And depending on what your main color is, that's what your sandals will be, and that's the color you're going to see reappearing a lot. So the pattern tells you main color. So whatever you chose as your main color, that's going to be what the theme color is for your creation. And I think that's a really cool way to make your version of this design really fun and uniquely yours, right? And what else? Oh, let us not forget, another really cool component for this design is the visor. So she has this really cool rainbow visor, and then this really cool rainbow hair bow. And then the most tedious of all things, the most, oh, it's worth it, but it took a lot of changing color, is the beach ball. So your pattern includes all of these things. So if you have purchased the pattern, then you have the instructions for all of these pieces, how to crochet them and where to change colors, and you even have a list of the color order if you decide that you want to choose a different main color for your theme instead of the orange that's in the picture or the pink that I'm using. And it tells you also how to arrange the colors based on what your color choice was for what I can't remember. Oh, for the visor, and I believe for the bag. So there is the instructions and information specifically for that. So when I tell you, hey Zay, and Bali had 60 what? I can't remember what we were talking about when I said how many. 60, I don't know. Refresh my memory. And Bali had 60 what? But this, I'm just letting y'all know there's a lot of color changing. It's going to take a lot of patience, but if you love the design, I'm telling you, it's totally worth it. Like, if you've seen the pictures and you love what you see, I promise you. Hey, Akila. I promise you that it'll be worth it. It's going to be a lot of changing of the color, but I promise you're going to love it when it's done, because I know I said I ran out of steam and it was a lot of work, but I felt so proud and accomplished when I finally finished it. So, we're going to be good. Braids. Was it 60? Oh, yeah, it was. Thank you. 60 braids if you did the braided ponytail for the Emboli design. So the Emboli design had 5 different hairstyles that you could choose from. If you did the braids, you did 60 for her two ponytails, braided ponytails. Okay, so without further ado, we are going to get started. You should have your 3.5 millimeter crochet hook like mine, right? And then I'm gonna do my third version. Y'all pray for me. I'm gonna do my third version in the color Fudge Drizzle. There it is. Fudge Drizzle, my kind of string yarn Fudge Drizzle. So I think I mentioned it before, but if you missed it, my kind of string yarn has officially sold out of coconut cream as a skin tone, and because of tariffs and all of the uncertainty and all of that stuff, we have been trying to have a kind of strategy as to how we are going to re-up on the colors that we need, because in addition to the fact that coconut cream is officially sold out, we are also running low on some of the other colors. So for now, the options for skin colors are Fudge Drizzle, or, oh, I don't have it with me, or Brown Sugar. And Brown Sugar is the color that the original design was made in, and this one that I'm working on. And you can see the difference in the shades. This is a little bit lighter. And so for this version, I'll be using Fudge Drizzle as the main color. And of course, I forgot something. I knew I would. I don't have a single stitch marker here with me. But before we get started, does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Let me run right across the room really quickly and get a stitch marker. Shout out to Chastity Stanley. Every time I use a stitch marker or a straight pin, I gotta think about her, because she gave me a huge supply. She saw that I was in need. Hey Peggy, and she sent me some much needed supplies in order to get it done. Okay, so that being said, got it. Now I only need this one, so I don't need to go and get the whole container. But yeah. So before we get started, does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Forgive me for sending it out late. I actually had been up for a long time and kind of crashed, and woke up and was like, oh shoot, I didn't even send out the pattern. Now part of it too was me. I always, before I send out the pattern, the email, the mass email, I do run through the instructions one last time, like as far as like looking at it. In addition to that, y'all see that I'm also working on the design, so I do a lot of that, a lot of double checking and triple checking and so on, to make sure that the instructions and the information is accurate, to see if there's any typos or anything that I need to correct. So hey Giovanna, welcome, welcome, welcome. Can I say shout out to you for the lives that you're doing and the book that you have? Oh my gosh, love, love, love that you took that leap. And I'm gonna tell you, I feel inspired. I feel inspired by you. So shout out to you. If you would like to, definitely share the link here for your book, because I feel so inspired. I'm excited when I see you on the timeline sharing what you've done. So shout out to you. Hey Saban, I hope I'm saying your name right. Welcome. So we're gonna get started right now, and the first part is the head, right? We start with the head, and this pattern, really the main math is the 5 multiplication table, right? Yeah. And then I kind of move a little here and there with different things, but for the most part, the head and body, we adopt the 5 timetables for this. Y'all know, for those of you who've been rocking with My Kind of Thing and My Kind of Thing University for a long time, y'all know math is very important. It is how we get through. It's how we do what we do. It's how we understand shaping from a level of crochet in the realm or the context of doll making. So y'all see 2, 3, 4. Y'all know I start with a chain 4. I don't use no magic ring because I don't think it's magic. I don't trust it. But I know a lot of you do, so do what you do. As per the pattern says, it says chain 5 and slip stitch to form a ring or use the magic ring method. That's really funny because I don't chain 5. I usually chain about 4, but you know, Zay, every time I got to bring it up because I don't respect the magic ring, so I'm gonna throw jabs and throw shade at it every time. 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know what? I realized that the reason why I have it as chain 5 is because, for if you feel a little bit uncomfortable with trying to put so much in a chain 4, a chain 5 should be fine. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So boom. Yeah, because if you do the chain 5, then if you do the chain 5, then the chain 5 should be fine too. Why I gotta be all that, Karen? I'm just, I don't like the magic ring. You know that. I don't respect it because I've seen it give out on people, and I don't trust it. So I'm sorry. You can call me a wimp if you want to, but my my chain 4 is strong. Hey, Coletta, welcome. My chain 4 is strong. I don't know about that magic ring. That magic ring is weak. My chain 4 on the money. So I don't know. But does anybody have any questions? We're going to follow along with the patterns. We're working on rows 1 through 9. Those are our increase rows. Okay? So if you have the pattern, then you can see what we're doing, right? If you don't have the pattern, you probably need to click the link in the description and get access to this because we're going to have a really great time. This design, I'm not just saying it because it's my yarn and I designed the doll. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this design is dope because this design is dope. So, what's after? Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure. But like I said, one of the reasons why I'm not going to go through every single aspect of the instructions is because you got to pay for that. That's not long anticipated. Thank you. You know what's so funny? And I mentioned this before. This design was supposed to be the 3rd My Kind of String yarn kit. That's what the issue was. After I created the design, I legit said, oh, this was too much. Hey, Chastity, I was just, I was talking about you. But yes, it was supposed to be kit number 3. And it just took so much. Hey, Renee. It took so much. Once I finished, I was like, of course you do. I can't use a stitch marker or a straight pin without saying it. So I'm just saying, shouts out to you. But when I finished this design, I was like, wow, that took a lot. And not only that, because there was so much color changing during the process of designing it, at another point in the design process, I stopped recording what I was doing. I stopped writing down what I was doing. So I was like, yeah, and I'm not going back. I'm not looking at this again. And I can't. It was so much. And I just felt like, yeah, I'll get back to it. And most of it had been designed. But I was just like, I hadn't written out the complete instructions for the bag. I hadn't even written out the instructions for the bag. When I did the bag for Winnie Melon, I just used the bag that I had made and I looked at it and created the instructions. So technically, the first time it was written down was for the Winnie Melon design, but the bag was done without me writing anything down. I was just doing it as I was going, and I had to use it as a reference point to design like officially for the bag for Winnie Melon. Um, so yeah, so that was this design was I don't want to say half done because really it was done, but it was like I hadn't wrote the instructions down for the beach ball because the beach ball color change was crazy. I had to decide how I was going to keep changing colors because initially I'm like, I'm going to just cut. Nobody's doing all that clipping. So I wound up doing what's called fair out, which is dragging the yarn along. Not crocheting over the yarn, but literally leaving it and picking it back up and bringing it over. Because it's all on the inside anyway, so it doesn't matter. So that being said, the beach ball was crazy. What else was crazy? The skirt color changing was crazy. Like, but I had done all of that. I had done the skirt and the top, and I think that's what really kind of threw me off. You know, it was like that skirt color changing, that top color changing, and I don't know if y'all see, but do y'all see any strings on? Side note, I know I'm deviating, but we're gonna get it done. This is how we do. But when I tell y'all, it's not just, let me show you the skirt. This is the outside of the skirt, right? Because there's also a front loop only component that creates this kind of really cool color change distinction. But this is the right side. This is the wrong side. Tell me what you notice about this. This is the right side, this is the wrong side. For all of this color changing, tell me your thoughts about that. Aside from that, it looks really nice because it's really colorful. Tell me, MKTU students, tell me what you notice. What's significant about what you see there. And I'm going to show you the top as well. This is the front of the top, or the right side of the top. This is the wrong side of the top. Just tell me if you notice what I hope you notice. You know, and I'll give you a moment if you're crocheting to maybe set your hooks down or type in what you notice or what you think. I'm trying to get you to kind of notice as my kind of thing university participants, students, alumni. Tell me what you think. I think you should take note of. Anyone here? Any alumni wanna point out what I'm trying to get you to see? I'm trying to get you to understand when you look at that. Let me see. Anyone? What do y'all think is significant in me showing you the right side and the wrong side of that top and that skirt with all the color changes? Wrong side, right side look the same. But more specifically, Peggy, the thing that I think, you know, I might not have taught is it's not necessarily reversible. Not necessarily reversible, but they do look the same. There's a reason why they're similar as far as right side and wrong side. The reason why is because here, one of the things that I teach throughout the My Kind of Thing University is how important it is. You can't tell the difference between them. They are neat. Boom, there we go, Renee. That's more specific. The amount of strings that you will acquire in color changing this frequently, right, It's really, really important for you to make sure that when you clip your strings and tuck your strings, you tuck them and clip them in a way where to even the trained eye, because we love to say the untrained eye, you can't see where I started or where I ended, right? Because look, based on this, you don't even know which color I started with, right? You can't tell, and I'm gonna be honest, looking at it right now without looking at the pattern, I don't remember which one I started with, whether I started here or here. I'm sure if I look, okay, so I started here with the purple. But I'm just saying, one of the rules of thumb for the My Kind of Thing University, when I'm teaching you and I'm stressing certain aspects of what we do here, neatness is very, very important. And neatness is not only important just because you want it to look good and you want it to look really neat, but neatness is also a really great skill set. Basically, if you are connecting and joining yarn and changing colors in a manner in which you can't see where you started and where you ended, you did a good job, right? Here's another example. Now, I can tell from the wrong side of this skirt where I started and where I ended, but from the right side, there's no real way of telling where I started and where I ended. Now, when we turn it on the wrong side, right, we can kind of see that if we're looking for that, right? You can see that this looks slightly different than all the other ones. So that's how I know. But these skills are really, really important, because if you're making things to sell, and even if you're not making things to sell, you just want to make sure that your work is neat, right? You want to make sure that when people purchase things from you, or when you do something really cool for somebody, make a gift or something, that you do such a good job that, you know, it just is really great work. And I just like to do really good work, right? So that's really important. And so that's one of the components of this design that is like, you know, it's a little like, because the amount of tucking and making sure that certain things aren't exposed, and making it neat so that it looks great in pictures and it looks great in person. You know, 360 degrees of pure crochet skills, right? We want to make sure that, you know, we ain't just faking it for the camera, you know, turning it a certain way, making sure that you don't see certain aspects of the design. We don't do that here. The bottom line is we do really great work in such a way that it don't matter what angle the camera catch it, it's 360 degrees of really cool crochet work, right? I'm on which row now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Row 5. Yes. So y'all good? Y'all get it? 2, 3. Yeah, does anybody have any questions? Hold on, let me make sure, because I'm looking at this like 1, 2. That doesn't seem right. We'll see. Let me work it out. I tell you, and you know, part of this too is that because I do so much designing and everything, a lot of times I have a hard time not critiquing myself as I'm following my own instructions. Because I be like, why'd you do it that way? What's going on? What, you know? And a lot of times I don't remember why I did something a certain way, until I actually do it the way I wrote it to do it. 1, 2, 3. Just make sure. 3. You know, sometimes I challenge myself. When it's time for me to redo something, and again, this is the third time that I'm doing this, I still be like, why'd you do it like that? Like, I didn't write it. I'm telling you, if you didn't know any better, you'd be like, oh, she don't really design all of that stuff, because she be looking like she don't know what she's talking about sometimes. I design so much that sometimes I forget what I did, even if it was something that I did like recently. So, you know, because different designs call for different shaping and different things. And when I have to do that, sometimes it doesn't make sense to me based on what's in recent memory or recent history of doing something, or what I like. Randomly, I'll change something for a reason and forget why. And then when I go back to use the information, I'm like, why'd you do that? And sometimes I'll even get arrogant and be like, oh, that must be a mistake. Just do what you think you should do. And then I wound up being like, oh, now I got to take it out and go back, because there was a reason why I did it that way. So, yeah, got to get it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, I'm on I'm on row 6 now. And the thing about this design, there is one aspect of this design that I'm like, I wish, and I was supposed to. I wish, hey Patricia, I wish that I had remembered when I did it the second time to lengthen the head. The head of this design, if I'm going to critique myself, which I usually do, the head of this design is kind of short. If I were thinking about it on this time doing it, the second time doing it, I would have made the head longer, because there's not much surface space for a mouth and chin kind of situation. And so, and I remembered that from the first time I did it, and I was like, you got to extend the head. But to extend the head length means that everything else has to move down. And because I didn't do it, I would have had to move everything down. Because here's the other thing, I just want the head a little bit longer. I don't want the torso any longer. I don't want the legs or anything longer. I just need the head a little bit longer. Because the other thing is, the way I have the wig cap set up, the ears are really low. And I would have liked to have a few more rows of head that is straight, for these ears to kind of not sit so low. That's my critique of my work, and sometimes I do that. So still a great design, still looks really great when finished, but I think when I go back to this design for like whatever reason later on, or I don't know, I'm going to definitely lengthen the head, because I just feel like I don't want the eyes any higher. They can't be any lower. And yeah, so that's the one critique I have for it. You need a longer head, girl. But either way, really great design. So yeah, what number am I on? Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Huh. 2, 3, 4. Make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. But does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Y'all got y'all materials? Here's the thing. So I because I did this design so many times. Well, I don't want to say so many times now. But because this is the third version or third attempt of, not attempt, this is me doing this doll a third time. I was like, do I really want to do this color switching? again, so frequently. It is so annoying, and I'm like, I don't know if I am, because I think I'm color changing fatigue. So I think this third version may just be one, or I don't want to say one, but I don't know. But I'm just like, I don't want to do the frequent color switching because it's going to take more time, and I already have started designing for next month. It's a lot. So if y'all see me doing something a little bit different, just know it ain't because, it's. I'm just saying, this is the third time. Like, come on, y'all not gonna do this 3 times. Who is gonna do that 3 times? And one time is more than enough. And I don't think I want it. Now I say all that, y'all know how I do. Sometimes I be like, yeah, I don't want to. I ain't gonna, and then I wind up, doing it, whatever. But I'm just saying, the way I feel right now and the way the color changing had to go down with these, I don't know, I'm thinking I need to maybe do 3 instead of 6. Because yeah, I think, I'm not sure. And then I'd have to figure out, okay, well, which 3? And then I was really going to get lazy, and I'll say lazy in quotations. I was going to not use my kind of string yarn for the rainbow components. I was just going to get some variegated colors from Red Art maybe, or Hobby Lobby, or Michael's or something. And let me not say get it. I was just gonna look in my arsenal and then just be like, yo, we doing these. Because, and then I was like, I don't know, but I will say this. For this third version, I want the main color to be Summer Shine. So what about one with more cheeks? So here's the thing. I say that about this design right now, not having enough head, right? But there is a trick. Her eyes aren't permanently positioned. Y'all know, if you have my kind of string eyes, then y'all know that when we pull these eyes in, it gives her a little bit of cheeks. It gives her a little bit more definition in the face. So I still haven't, seen that yet, because I haven't done it yet with this design. But that'll also help with giving her mouth space that I feel like I kind of cheated her on in designing her. So we'll see. But yeah, listen, it's not a perfect science, right? What row am I on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm on row 8. No, I'm on row 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute. See, running off, I think I messed something up. Hold on. Wait a minute. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, two, three, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a mistake somewhere, and I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I need y'all to. This might be universal, meaning it's a problem for me. It might be a problem for you. We don't usually have that, but we're gonna fix that right now if it's a thing. So hold on. Let me take out this row because that ain't right. Every other. Every 3. Ha! I knew it. I knew it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because it was looking crazy when I was doing it. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's not how that works when we start that way. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3. Hold up, wait a minute. I know that this is for some of y'all this is like what the heck, but yeah, I gotta do it because I just want to make sure. Some things, you know how you get really used to doing, so you don't really pay attention sometimes. 1, 2, 3. So let me just get back down to the second row, see if that makes more sense. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Okay, let's see. And don't worry about it. Like, this doesn't give me much annoyance. You know what? When I have to unravel and knitting, I get crazy. Okay, so after that, let me see if it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? I know we're gonna be here for at least an hour to 2, from anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, depending on how we feel, depending on how it's going, depending on whether or not, because I also think this should be a time for us to kind of kick it, maybe talk a little bit. Let me see. So after that, I just want to make sure that you all got the right information. And again, sometimes this be nothing. This doesn't amount to anything at all. Again, when I'm doing so many things or I'm working at a certain speed, sometimes I breeze through things. It's easy to make a typo or an error when you are correcting your own work. Because some things make perfect sense to me, but that doesn't matter when having to make sure that it's transferable to you, making sure that you understand what's being done. So I have to kind of sometimes remember, like, just because you know what it means or just because you know what you meant doesn't mean that everybody receiving it is going to. Oh, nice. Nice. For the most part, everybody, we had 2 orders that came recently, like I think either yesterday or the night before, that are also packaged and being shipped. So, but for the most part, everybody's companion packs and things have been shipped. But yeah, what row is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5. And you know what? I don't even think this was a mistake. I just think no, it was a mistake. But it wasn't, I don't think it's the mistake I thought it was. Meaning, I think it's the mistake that I made, not that the pattern is written in 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. I haven't had an opportunity to order mine yet, but I'm most certainly no problem. There are absolutely still some packs available. And I think I mentioned it before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then 6, and then 6. I think I mentioned it before that there are some designs that never had a companion pack that I want to make companion packs for. So I still have to do that at some point. 2, 3. Yeah, the more I think about this design, the more I'm like, I really wanted that head to be longer. I should have taken the time to kind of, but I just didn't remember on the second time around. And then a lot of times I'm pressed with time. So I'm like, I swear, I never seem to have enough time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6. Just make sure I'm at the right row with the right amount of increases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, because I don't know how the last time I did it, I was at the row 6 instructions, but it was row 7, and I don't know how that happened. That was probably just my brain doing what it wanted to do and not necessarily paying attention to the pattern, the written instructions that happened. Think the bag, I use mine. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Like I said earlier, I don't think you were here yet, Patricia. This design was supposed to be a whole kit. But after I finished it the first time, I was just like, I can't do this again. I need some time and space between it and creating it again and making sure that it's written for consumption and all of that stuff. And it just was, I put it down. And so I thought it'd be really, really cool to make sure that I kind of shipped it out with all of the cool components. The only thing it doesn't have, well, the difference between a companion pack and a kit, as per my definition, for me, a kit comes with the pattern, the materials, and a specifically in my kind of string, my kind of thing kit. It'll also have the wooden dowel or the PVC pipe cut according to what the pattern says it requires. Because the pattern is sold separately and the materials are sold one place and the pattern is sold one place, I don't call it a kit. I call the design or the crochet together or the crochet along that component, and then there is the companion pack that goes along with it. And here's the thing, you have the option, because some people maybe don't want to buy my kind of string yarn, which I don't know why. No, but if you just, want to use a different yarn, a different colors, and so on and so forth, then you have that option. So that's another reason why I make them separately. So that aspect of it. But these designs are designed with my kind of string yarn. And so the proportions and all of the gauge and everything is based on using my kind of string yarn. So understand that if you use a different yarn, then your sizing and things are going to be different. And the other thing is, again, all of the yarn was made with my kind of string yarn. So there is, you know, when you use, and I don't know how many of you do this, probably all of you, but when you're just crocheting or creating, you're using the colors you like, and it doesn't matter who made it, right? I do that I before, and when I'm not using my kind of string yarn, which lately has been almost non-existent. Occasionally I'll outsource some white or red because my kind of string doesn't have those colors. But for the most part, I've been designing exclusively with my kind of string yarn because, you know, it's my yarn company, and what better way to show it off and how good it works for what I'm doing than by using it. But when I'm not using my yarn, I use the colors that I like, and it doesn't matter who makes them, and I make proper adjustments according to the change in texture. If I'm designing, it's a very rare occurrence that I design with different yarns. Like when I'm designing, I don't use different yarns usually, meaning when I'm designing for you all to be able to use or to create the design, I only use one brand. Even in the past, before I had my yarn company, when I'm designing, it's never with a bunch of different companies. It's usually all the same company because the texture has to be consistent. Otherwise, I have to make those adjustments, and those adjustments are very, very annoying for, I think they'll be annoying for you. Do you sell accessory packs separately? Not at this time. I do sell eyes and lips and lashes separately. You do have the option of purchasing just eyes, lips, lashes separately. That I do have. But as far as hair things and earrings and all of that stuff, not at this time. I have to kind of implement that. I just spoke with someone recently about making custom listings for those things, because as of right now, it's basically offered in brown or pink, the lips, and there's 3 different styles, 3 different sizes, right? But I want to create a component where you get to customize the colors you want and the sizes you want, and all in one space. But that was kind of just like a rollout to let you all know that we have lips and lashes and eyes. We have safety eyes, and my safety eyes are not typical, because my safety eyes allow for you to create the whole doll. And once you got the hair and everything attached, you can then put the eyes wherever you want them. You can put them as high as you want, as low as you want, as far apart as you want, as close as you want. That was really important for my design style, because I like the option of deciding when I look at the design where I want eyes to be placed. I don't like the having to commit so early to eye placement and then not being able to move them according to what my tension did or what the yarn I used did, as far as maybe if you are designing somebody else's, creating somebody else's design, and you're using a different yarn than the design called for, right? Then if I told you in my design to put your eyes on rows, between rows 12 and 13, that's based on the fact that I'm using my kind of string yarn. But if you're using something like Skein Tones, which is Lion Brand's worsted weight, but Skein Tones is a softer worsted weight, also created by yours truly, in collaboration with Lion Brand, that placement might not work, right? You might need to place them a little bit higher, or, you know, because that yarn works up differently. So that's one of the reasons why when I design, specifically for designing, I don't use all different kinds. I have to burn a hole in all my safety eyes. Burn a hole in them? What you mean burn a hole in them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, I just realized what you said. So I could so okay. I just realized what you said. You know what's funny? Before I found the eye that I had that little hole in the stem, I had a drill, and I would use a hand drill to do like a little hole in that. But the problem with that is that you might weaken the stem. So if you don't have that hole positioned exactly in the middle of that stem, then the sides around it at some point might snap under pressure or under pulling. So you gotta be careful about that. I knew there was a reason I love skeins. Oh, you didn't know that? Okay, so look, it created the line. Now I didn't come up with the name skein tones, but I created the colors and the names of all the colors in collaboration with Lion Brand. I had gathered all of the browns that I had loved over the years, and I sent them samples of all of the shades that I felt like would cover the range of skin tones that they wanted to cover. They had reached out to me to do this particular thing. So, oh no, Renee, go out and come back in. Does anybody else have no, there's so there's stuff happening outside I'm in the Bronx. So there's cars and stuff sound like we talking in front of a fan. Anybody else have an issue with my sound? I'm sorry. Because the fan is over there though. And there's static. Oh no. It sounds like static, so y'all, hey Carolyn. I don't know. Because I didn't do anything. Sounds like you're talking about how I just got it sounds choppy. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I don't know what that is. I didn't do anything. Static sounds. I don't know. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out and I'm going to come back in. Y'all going to stay with me? Because I don't know. I haven't done anything or changed anything or moved anything. So I shouldn't be having an issue with the sound. But I'm going to go out and come back in. And hopefully that'll help. Y'all with me? Y'all still there? Give me a thumbs up if you think that'll help or that'll work. That's crazy.